Friday's episode in Salem is going to be filled with truth, sacrifice, and difficult choices. Johnny DiMera's trial finally reaches its conclusion, but not in the way many expected. For weeks, suspicion circled around him as the one who shot EJ, but the real shock came when it was revealed that the shooter was actually Rachel Black, Kristen's young daughter. This revelation turns everything upside down. Johnny, who has been living under a cloud of doubt and legal pressure, is suddenly in the clear. Yet, as is often the case in Salem, the end of the trial doesn't necessarily mean the end of the drama. The way the trial wraps up could create new tension, especially depending on how EJ and Kristen choose to handle the truth publicly. EJ, as the victim, finds himself in a complicated position. He has the power to set the record straight, but he must decide how much of the truth he really wants to share. If he openly says Rachel was the shooter, it will exonerate Johnny completely, but it will also expose Rachel to scandal and potential consequences. Kristen, being the fiercely protective mother that she is not about to let her daughter's life be defined by such a mistake. She is already leaning toward taking the blame herself, even if that means another trip to prison. Kristen's willingness to fall on the sword for Rachel adds another emotional layer to the story, and it also reopens her long history of sacrifice and bad choices for family. In preparing to make that sacrifice, Kristen may turn to Marlena Evans. Marlena, who has long been both her rival and sometimes reluctant ally, could be asked to look after Rachel while Kristen is away. The irony is thick here. Kristen has spent years in conflict with Marlena, but when it comes down to Rachel's safety and well-being, Kristen knows Marlena is the one person she can trust to provide stability. This request alone signals how serious Kristen is about protecting her daughter at any cost. On the other side of town, Brady Black is restless and suspicious, turning his attention to Sarah Horton Kyriakis. Brady has a lot of questions and he isn't going to stop pressing until he gets answers. His curiosity connects directly to Sophia Choi and her baby. The adoption storyline has been filled with secrecy, and Sarah has been caught in the middle. She knows far more than she can comfortably reveal. She has tried again and again to persuade Sophia to admit the truth, but Sophia has resisted. The situation is complicated further because Tate, Brady's son, is deeply affected. He believes he has a daughter out there when in fact the baby is a boy. His longing to meet this child is only growing stronger, making Sarah's silence even harder to maintain. Sarah is in a precarious spot. As a doctor, she is bound by ethical and legal rules that prevent her from disclosing patient information. Telling Brady the truth would risk breaking those rules, but holding back could prolong Tate's suffering and Brady's confusion. Friday's episode will place Sarah directly in that tension. Brady pushing for answers, Sarah struggling to respond without crossing a line, and the entire adoption secret threatening to spill out sooner rather than later. Altogether, the episode highlights three major threads coming together. The conclusion of Johnny's trial with Rachel at the center of the truth, EJ and Kristen wrestling with how to present that truth, and Brady confronting Sarah over a secret that could change his entire view of what's happening with Sophia's baby.